Good evening and welcome to the Suburban Chamber of Commerce 9th Annual Tying the Communities Together Service Awards Dinner. I'm Marcella Giancarelli and I'm chairwoman of the Suburban Chamber, and we're looking forward to a wonderful night of honoring all of our award recipients.
The inspiration happened about 7 years ago when Sherry and Hillary and I got to really know each other in Berkeley Heights at a community event. And we loved the idea of bringing the community to downtown Berkeley Heights and to really showcase the business district. And we thought by throwing an event that was fun, free, and during the holiday season and tied in with an already existing event that brought hundreds of people to it, we thought it's a win-win, and it was. We've designed an event, thanks to Hillary and Sherry, that really entertains the whole entire community.
The Berkeley Heights Winter Walk has become a tradition, or become a local tradition, I should say, because of three dedicated community leaders. And that's Bobby Peer, our board member, Cherry Pertisis, and Hillary Boothby, of NA Florida. And Bobby is also tap into, just like Michael Shapiro is right here. So if you would join us up here, please.
So the Winter Walk, as Gary had said, it's a labor of love between myself, Sherry Pertisis, and Hillary Boothby with newborn Dakota. Welcome to the Winter Walk. And it takes a lot of time, and we dedicate a lot of time to put on this event, like with any event. It takes a lot of time with months of planning. We are already lining up our sponsors for this coming event, and Sherry and Hillary are already booking the attractions. That's how far in advance we book this event. The event is held the first Saturday of the month in conjunction with the tree lighting ceremony, which was an already existing popular event in Berkeley Heights. And that's done by the Special Events Committee of the Recreation Department. So I'm lucky to have these two ladies next to me who selflessly give their time and talent to Berkeley Heights to bring a little or a lot of festive magic to the streets of downtown Berkeley Heights to kick off the holiday season. In what is, it's a must-attend annual event at the Berkeley Heights Winter Walk, and we're in our fifth year, as Sherry had said. I had the pleasure of meeting Sherry at a PBA trunk or treat about 7 years ago, and we had a lot to bond over, but in particular it was about our desire to bridge the gap between the community and the businesses. The community has always asked a lot of our local businesses and for donations, sponsorships, and they give 100% to the community. So we wanted to create a way of bridging that gap. So during a time of post-recession, we saw various businesses that were struggling, and we wanted to highlight the downtown businesses. We saw a dire need to act on the partnership between the community and businesses. So as a source of the local news and promotion of businesses we tap into, and with Sherry and Hillary being our town florist and event planners, we joined forces with a few other local businesses. And after a little brainstorming and through the blessing of Mayor Bob Woodruff, sitting over there, and the Township Council, the annual Berkeley Heights Winter Walk was created. We have seen our grassroots effort grow through the years. We now have over 75 businesses and organizations participating, and with generous support of our presenting sponsor, who is here tonight, Embassy Suites and Gran & Cane Restaurant and the Connell Company, along with sponsors like Peak Medical, Delicious Heights, Investors Bank, DeMayo's Restaurant, Giovanni's Bistro, Smith Chiropractic Foundation, Pearly White's Family Specialty Dentistry, Robinwood Kitchens, Liberty Group, TD Bank, Connect One Bank, Ippolito Memorial, Berkeley Hardware, and that's just to name a few of our sponsors, as well as many of the downtown merchants that host attractions in their storefronts. Thanks to these generous businesses, we are able to transform Springfield Avenue into a Norman Rockwell winter wonderland of fun. That includes a synthetic ice rink, horse-drawn carriage rides, a holiday trolley, ice sculptors, a life-size snow globe, several characters including the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, and the popular Elsa Princess, and of course Santa and Mrs. Claus, who arrive in rock-style fashion. And a schedule of local talent on the bandstand. Year after year, this event draws thousands of residents from Berkeley Heights and surrounding communities to the Berkeley Heights downtown business district to enjoy a much-needed free event that entertains all while making memories that last a lifetime. So this event would not be possible without the support and partnership with Berkeley Heights Recreation Director Tom Barton, with Berkeley Heights and also Carolyn George, and the cooperation of the Township, Union County, Berkeley Heights Police Department, the DPW, and many, many volunteers that helped create this magical night. So thank you very much.
And our next award recipient is our Organization of the Year, Moms Helping Moms. So this is a great organization. Would you share with me what was the inspiration?
Sure. So about 8 years ago, I had my first child. I was living in Hoboken, New Jersey. And kind of, for those of us that have children, we know it's a lot and you need a lot and it's a big adjustment. And so I'm going through this emotional time of my life. And I was reading an article about a mother who had actually given her child up for adoption because she couldn't afford enough formula. She couldn't afford the basics for her child. And that, looking around at everything I had for my one tiny little baby, that thought kind of devastated me. So I decided I wanted to do something to help. And that's how this all started. I started collecting donations from friends and other moms who had young babies with the intent to donate them to another charity that could use them. And when I couldn't find one, I started my own. And a few of us here were also in Hoboken, and Megan and Jerusha were friends of mine back then, and they kind of caught on to what I was doing and got involved right away. And 8 years later, we all moved out to the suburbs into these amazing communities that have supported us so much, and we've grown exponentially. And now we're serving about 12,000 individuals a year. We've given out to date 1 million donations, which include everything from diapers, clothing, pack and plays, strollers, everything you can imagine that a baby needs. That's what we provide.
Moms Helping Moms has gone through many transitions since their beginnings in a garage in Hoboken. And today they are serving thousands of individual low-income families. I recently visited the warehouse where Bridget's drive is focused in Plainfield and held a diaper drive, and it's an amazing facility, obviously helping many mothers in need. Bridget, congratulations. Please come up for your award.
Thank you so much, Barbara, and thank you to the Chamber. Anyone who's been to one of our galas knows I don't usually give a speech without having paper in front of me, so wish me luck. So as Barbara mentioned, we are Moms Helping Moms Foundation. We are a diaper and baby supply bank serving mostly northern New Jersey. We provide low-income families with the basic essentials that they need for their children. Everything from diapers, clothing, safe places to sleep, hygiene items, strollers, so anything that you can think of that's an essential item for a child. We collect these items and we distribute them to low-income families. There are currently over 100,000 children in New Jersey under the age of 3 whose families cannot afford these items for them. So they don't have enough diapers, they don't have enough clothing, they don't have a winter coat, they don't have a safe place to sleep. Their parents are letting them sleep in old suitcases. These are the kind of stories that we hear. So our goal is to get this number down to 0, and we have a long way to go. We're currently serving about 12,000 individuals a year. As Barbara mentioned, we started up in Hoboken. I founded the organization, and I was joined very quickly by a few of these ladies who are standing up here with me, who also had their first children at that time. We were very grassroots. We had no idea what we're doing or what we were really, but we didn't intend to start a diaper bank. We just were trying to be helpful. And after a couple of years passed, as things go, we all moved out of Hoboken, we all moved into the suburbs, and we moved to these amazing communities. I live in New Providence. Some of us live in Berkeley Heights and Summit. And it's really these communities that have helped us grow from this tiny grassroots operation to an operation that's helping tens of thousands of individuals in our state every year. So thank you all for that. We wouldn't have our volunteer programs, all of our local businesses are donating items to our gala, they're giving us sponsorship dollars, they're hosting diaper drives for us, they're hosting donation box drop-offs for us, all schools, libraries. I could stand up here for an hour and tell you about all of the local organizations that have made us what we are today. So for that, we thank you so much, and we're so honored to be here tonight and to accept this award. So, thank you.
What was your inspiration?
Well, I tell you, my father was a lawyer, and I knew everybody had small law firms in those days. That was practically in the Ice Age. But I met his partners, I met judges he knew, and it seemed to me like something I might like to do to help people out.
Wow, very nice. Very, very nice. And what would you consider your greatest accomplishment?
Marrying Millie.
Jack, along with many of us here tonight, I'm proud to call you a friend, and we thank you for your lifetime of service and continued service.
Thank you, Bob. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Millie, of course. And I'm really pleased because it comes from this organization. More than 50 years ago, I never count more than 50. I just stopped. More than 50 years ago, when I was in bed with the flu, 102 fever, my mother came into my bedroom and said, "Dear, there's a man on the phone that wants to talk to you about a job in Summit." I said, "I'm very sick, Mother, I have the flu." She said, "Dear, opportunity only knocks once. Get up." I'm glad I accepted that very polite request from my mother, because I took the job in Summit and I've been here ever since. And I've lived every minute of it. Summit is a great place to practice law, a great place to run a business, a great place to run a family, and a great place, the organizations that exist around this communities is amazing to me. You read the obituaries and read the newspapers and all the bad news on them, and then you read that's why I read the obituaries, because that's the only place they say nice thing about people. And they don't even know about it because they're dead. I practiced law in Summit, and I had clients in the three communities. I go to the old guard now, and that's in New Providence. And then we all have lunch in a restaurant in Berkeley Heights, so they're all part of the mix these days. These are wonderful communities. It's the people in these communities that make them so, and really it's the glue of the chamber that sort of keeps everything together. And so that's why I'm so very particularly pleased to receive this award, and I want to thank you all very much for your help.
Well, I was born into the family business, and I actually grew up in the store. It's been in New Providence since 1960. So we're being recognized, and it's gratifying, and having a good family behind me, and having great staff, and just being in the downtown area of New Providence, it couldn't be better.
So it is with wonderful enthusiasm that I introduce to you Jimmy Bartz of Bartz Market,
We are honored to be recognized by the Suburban Chamber of Commerce of the Year. Over 60 years ago, Barth's started as a local German pork store and evolved into the neighborhood butcher and grocer that we are today. Through the support of our loyal customers and our neighbors, I have been able to expand our store to meet the wants and needs of the busy families who find themselves with less time to shop and cook. Though our expansion, we have been able to increase our menu selections with healthy salads, poke bowls, sandwiches, and prepared foods and more. We pride ourselves in being a neighborhood fixture and providing our customers with the highest quality products. We are proud to support local sports teams, marching bands, local school and church fundraisers. We also sponsor and partner with the Summit Medical Group Foundation, yearly supplying over 6,000 lunches to their Oncology Infusion Center and 600 turkeys yearly to New Jersey local food banks. In conclusion, I want to thank my family, my wife Sandy, my daughter Paige, and my son Max, who's with me in the business, my employees at the table, Ellen and Miriam, and the support of my friends, Dan and John, who helped make Barth's the success that it is today. Thank you very much.
I served for about 9 years in a capacity as councilman, mayor, and so on and so forth. A lot of changes. A lot of changes have been foisted upon most of these towns, particularly suburban towns out here. Affordable housing and the like, all of which we had to wrestle with, which was a challenge, but we managed to do it. I'm extremely proud that we managed to get so many people in town involved as volunteers. We have a tremendous town. And in effect, that's really, to a large extent, what the Chamber is. It's a lot of people giving back, and as well as just mingling and understanding each other and so on and so forth. So this is a great night, and we're looking forward to it.
He's very oriented about helping the community as well as the business. The Chamber of Commerce is a business organization who tries to support the community and interact with government, and Bob has made that easy. I'd like to welcome Bob to the podium. And
I first started coming to these events about 8 or 9 years ago, and there were two things I took away from them very quickly. Number one, obviously, you're an organization which provides an opportunity for local businesses to meet each other and to work on those businesses. And obviously, we're still a capitalistic society, notwithstanding what some people are suggesting otherwise. And that's one of the reasons you do this, and that's a good thing. Okay, but what really stands out about this organization, and I would see it every year when I was here, each of the members of the Chamber that I've ever met see beyond their business. They see beyond their interests. They see beyond themselves. And they're constantly talking about their community, trying to make their communities better. We have 3 tremendous towns here who are all, joined together in an association such as this. And that, to me, is what really stood out. And it continues to stand out. And I would like to congratulate each of you, because what you do is a great service to all in your communities. You are making your communities better places to live. Now, I would say this. As an elected official, and I spent 9 years as an elected official, tonight some of those who I work with are here. They've become dear friends. And, but I want to talk about the people that are not elected officials. And I want to talk about what makes this town, Berkeley Heights, a special place. And I'm sure that each of you in New Providence, Summit, would think likewise, and you have your own individuals that you can think about fitting this bill. I learned very early on as an elected official, one of the obligations we have, particularly in small towns, because you can actually get things done as an elected official in a small town compared to what goes on at the state and national level. You can actually see what you put into play. But what I learned very early on is it's extremely difficult to do it by yourself. Now, I was blessed by having outstanding council people and other individuals, including employees in Berkeley Heights. But what I learned very early on is one of the obligations you should have as an elected official is to create an atmosphere in your town where those people who are not elected but care about your town will step up. And you give them an opportunity to feel comfortable and say, you know what, I not necessarily want to be an elected official, but I have something to offer. Believe me, people in our towns have a lot to offer. And I thought it was our responsibility as elected officials to make an atmosphere, create an atmosphere where that would occur. And in Berkeley Heights, it happened. Because our job is to get things done. And I made a comment, it might have been my last night or so, in office. And I read this somewhere, and I think it's extremely appropriate, and I would hope that all of you would give this some consideration, particularly in light of the fact that some of you may be wondering, and really I'm speaking to the choir here because a lot of you are extremely involved in what you do in your towns. There are many people that say, well, I really don't want to get involved because of A, B, or C. More often than not, they don't want to get involved because they're concerned with criticism. They're concerned with someone who won't get into the arena, who will have the comments and so on and so forth. And I read something somewhere one time, and I said, it said briefly, if you are concerned about criticism and being critiqued about what you do, then do nothing. If you are concerned about not being the focal point of someone else's attacks, then say nothing. And if you really are concerned about whether you're going to be the brunt of attacks and so on, then do nothing. And this is not a group that does nothing. And the group that I work with, many of whom sit over there, they're not that group. They did something, and they continue to do something. So with that in mind, I want to thank the Chamber. This is a tremendous award because, as I said, I've been here 9 years, and I've watched the different people that have come up here and have had comments, and you do good things. Thank you very much.
I grew up in a Newark housing project, a kid that played on the playground every day, and then learned to swim for 10 cents in a city pool, Boylan Street pool, and played in a park every day. And both of my parents were Navy vets. They were both civil servants. My father a firefighter, my mother a city clerk. So it's no wonder I wound up in Parks and Recreation. You know, we have service in our hearts, and this is where I wound up. And it's been a total of 40 years, 12 years in Summit. But I've had the opportunity to be in several other communities, as well as I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I have a small business myself. So I have a consulting business, and I recently launched a book called Aquatic Center Marketing that's doing very well. You can get it on Amazon. On the cover is the Summit Family Aquatic Center.
Oh, how nice is that?
Yeah, so I'll be busy. Yeah, thank you.
She is a servant leader. She understands that it is not, the longest journey is from selfishness to selflessness. She has set an example by her life, and she has made a difference with her sense of legacy and passion. She was not only successful, but she's been significant. And I thank her for her service to the City of Summit and being a good friend. God bless you, Judith, and congratulations, and all the best in your retirement. To you and your family.
For me, tonight's my opportunity to say thank you and so long to not only Summit and the Suburban Chamber, but to all the neighboring communities who have supported me and the very talented staff at the Department of Community Programs. I've been so blessed to be the face and voice of an incredible organization. Without the support and encouragement of Mayors Glatt, Dixon, and Radis, we could not have built the former Recreation Commission into one of New Jersey's most effective community programs departments. To Chris Connor, who had the good sense to hire me, or should I say courage, thank you. And to Michael Rogers, City Administrator, who humors me, thank you. Thank you for always letting me swing for the fences. I apologize for the silly announcements I made you gentlemen make, including the hug and kiss coupon campaign, which brought you both great embarrassment and me great joy. I love to see those two suffer. I've always known that success in public service is not a one-person job. Collaboration with regional charities, city, county, and state agencies, area businesses most importantly, corporations has enabled the DCP to provide exceptional programming and special events at little or no cost to the city. Thank you to the DCP advisory board members who are here tonight. Thank you to Maria and Joanne, some of the longest lasting city employees. About 100 years between you two, right? You're doing something right, city. And to Mark, who I've worked side by side, Mark Ozerowski, for 12 years. He's been with the city for 18, and he is now the new director, and I have every bit of confidence that Mark will do a fabulous job. He may not be as silly, but he certainly will be as effective, I'm sure. Thank you to all the city executives who rarely said no to me whenever I came calling, especially you, Robert. I love you. This award is for all of those people, not for me. People have asked me what was one of my proudest moments in my tenure. And sure, I'm over the moon about the community center like Kevin. The growth of the TRICAM program makes me so proud. And the many capital improvements that we've accomplished, but my proudest moments came at the darkest of times. When Hurricane Sandy dealt the state a massive crisis, the DCP staff with minimal funding entertained over 6,000 residents of the region in 4 days, with dozens more for weeks after that. Together with volunteers, with many of the businesses in this room tonight, area charities, the Summit DCP, the Department of Community Programs, prove that recreation in parks is not just fun and games. People have asked me, what will I do now with all of my time? Well, that's easy. Behind every busy woman is a very hungry man. I'm going to cook again. And I'm going to love my husband more to repay him for all the holidays, nights, and weekends he spent by himself. Yeah. I made points for all the men in the room. I'm going to make it up to my family, who has even worked at events just to get a chance to see me. To Janet, my sister, Bobby, my brother-in-law, Felice, thank you. And to my sister, Barbara, who lost a brave battle to metastatic breast cancer. She would be here clapping the loudest, so we think of her tonight. I'm just a kid from a Newark housing project whose time on the playground and the city pool was incredible to me. My parents, 2 proud Navy vets. My mother outranked my father in the Navy and for the rest of his life. They both became civil servants. My father a Newark firefighter, my mother chief court clerk in the city of Newark. And like Kevin said, they understood service. They had service in their hearts and they instilled that in us. It's no wonder, with all that time in the playground and at the city pool and at the county park, I would wind up being a recreation director. There's no secret there. Had they only lived next to a hospital, I'd be doing brain surgery tonight. Oh well. I've had the honor of working in some really great communities, but I'm especially proud and fortunate that Summit found me. It's a great place to live, work, and play. And I only hope that I help to make that happen just a little bit. Summit is a little city with a big heart. So please indulge me one last time, a signature statement that people have come to either know, love, or hate at every concert and every special event. So here it is for one last time. Show the chamber some Southern love!